finally got my hands on these foundation card samples from Eldridge, and I thought we could sit down together and figure out what shade would work best for me. So I have the latest two versions. On card 1, I have 1, 2, 2.5, and 3, and then on the second set, I have 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm not even sure if I'll need to open this second one. I think I'll be able to find my shade match somewhere in the latest version. In a video I did recently where we shopped together and I showed you some things that I had my eye on to get some feedback and get your thoughts, I had mentioned that I was interested in trying some things from Eldridge, and everybody said before buying the foundation I should try the cards. And that was super helpful. And also Lisa has a video on the website and I think on her YouTube channel where she goes through and uses these cards to find her shade. And so I'm gonna try to mimic the way that she tested it out. So it's a paper packet, but then if you open it, these are separate. They just come right out like a little pill pack. And that's nice because then you can keep this. It has some information on the back. And I am gonna try number 1 first. Each has its own separate peel corner, I should say. And that way you can just open one at a time. You can separate them too. And they're labeled on the back too separately. So yeah, I'm not sure. This is number 1. And then this is number 2 here. Number 2 almost looks like it might be too dark, but I assume it would sheer out. That's how it says it on the back. Start with a little and build to your desired level of enhanced perfection. So I'm assuming that means it's a more buildable coverage. All right, I'm gonna stop talking and just get on with it. Number 1, there's deer playing in my backyard and it's really cute. Their little white tails are fluttering around. So I'm gonna start on my chin here. Okay, that looks a bit light. I do prefer when foundations are a little bit lighter because my body is lighter than my face. Like I have redness on my face and my body doesn't really have a lot of redness, and so sometimes I like to go a little bit lighter, and that way when I add the bronzer and everything later, it still kind of matches me. Let's try the second shade. Number 2 is here and number 2.5 is next to it. It looks like 2.5 might be a little bit lighter. So I'm actually gonna swatch this one next and then 2 afterwards. That seems to blend in better, and it does have that olive undertone. So it's not as brightening. Okay. So I don't know how much detail you're able to see there. Definitely 2.5 pulls way more olive. I think it is a little too dark for me. And then 2 seems to be a good match depth-wise, but it is a little bit more pink peach. And then I have 3 here, so I'm just gonna open that and I'll swatch it on this side. That's super yellowy. One is definitely not it. I'm not sure how well you can see how this is pulling on me, but that's number 2. This is 2.5. That's 1, and then that's 3. These are really heavy swatches, so they're not going to pull this strong either way. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I can't really tell which one is the best match. I'm still thinking 2.5, even though it might be a little bit deeper than my natural skin tone, because I would sheer it out. I would not have such a heavy application. So I'm gonna take that color, 2.5, and I'm going to use it on a bigger portion of my cheek to see. Like I'm gonna use up like half of my face. See, that seems to blend in really well, and it's definitely covering up the redness. Let's look at number 2 again. Honestly, I don't think I could necessarily go wrong with either one. So this top shade here, that's 2. I think that's too peachy. I think it's too pink. And then 2.5, I think it's the right undertone, but it's a little dark. But the inside of my arm is like the lightest part of me. So I'm gonna apply this to the rest of my face as my foundation today, the 2.5 shade. What do you think? I'm not gonna buy the foundation immediately. Is it worth trying the next shade? Because this next shade here, 3, like I wouldn't want to go any deeper than that. I'll just try it. I mean, I have it. Might as well give it a shot. It seems to better match me than number 3. This is 2.5 and this is 2. Alright, I will let you know. I'm still not fully sure. I'm gonna try out 2.5 today. Maybe I'll try 2 tomorrow and just kind of see how it wears, see if it oxidizes at all, and see if it's even a formula that I would want to buy the full size of. Right now, my first impression is that it's pretty liquidy and it's workable. Like, it's not a ton of pigment right off the bat, but it's also not enough pigment that I'd have to really build it to get what I want. And honestly, every foundation I have, I mix with something else. So I either sheer it out or I add something to change the tone or the level of depth. Like, it's very rare for me to just use a foundation on its own. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments and I'll let you know what I think of 2 versus 2.5. I just wanted to jump on really quick and show you what day 2 looks like. I'm wearing shade number 2 all over my face, and I think this is also a really great shade match. It seems to match my skin really well, and I really don't think I could go wrong with either shade. 2.5 yesterday worked really well, and number 2 is also looking great. So of course I can't give a full review because I've only been wearing the foundation for 2 days, but I am loving how it looks on the skin. I like the level of pigment, of coverage. I like that it's buildable. I like the formula. I like that the shade matches me really well. And I also really love how it wears throughout the day. I wore that foundation all day yesterday. It was a really long day and my face still looked fine. At the end of the day, I could have used a little bit of powder to touch up my T-zone, but other than that, like, it wasn't breaking down. And today I've been wearing this foundation for quite a few hours too. I think I did my makeup around 11 and it's now 5 p.m. So this is 6 hours. I did touch up with a little bit of powder earlier before I started filming other videos, but I just really like how this looks on the skin, and so I feel much more confident in purchasing the full size, especially with it being a more expensive foundation. I'm glad to see that is something I would really enjoy and that would give me the look and the finish and the level of coverage that I would want. So yeah, when I purchase the full size, I'll likely get 2.5, but again, I don't think I could go wrong with either of the 2 shades. I think they both do work for me pretty well. If you are looking to get this foundation, but you'd like to try the formula and you'd like to figure out what your shade is before buying, absolutely get the foundation cards. I think those are so fantastic and I wish every brand would do that. That's so helpful. I'm excited to see what you have to say in the comments. Maybe it looked a certain way on camera or you have some other suggestions or thoughts that you think would work for me. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you in my next video.